Trying to tell you guys a story time. Gianna literally just dropped her bottle all over and I had to make her another one. But here's kind of the story time of how I got dumped and became a single mom at 23.
Morgan Bailey is a TikTok creator who has used her platform to share deeply personal stories about her life. Known for her honesty and relatability, Morgan has gained over 1.4 million followers since her initial viral TikTok video. She documents her experience with her baby daddy, who she has coined the random man from Atlanta.
That random man in Atlanta real mad at me today. Real mad at me. He just told me to jump off a cliff.
The random man from Atlanta, whose real name is Jaquan, was said to have abandoned Morgan and their daughter Gigi shortly after the baby was born. In one of her previous videos, Morgan explained the story about how her and Jaquan met. She explained that prior to her meeting Jaquan, she lived alone, she worked in the real estate industry, and she would see Jaquan standing outside of her building when she was either on her way to work or on her way home from work. Now, I don't know what he was doing outside of her building, but if you've ever lived in the hood, I'm sure you can take a guess. She stated that he would approach her, trying to get to know her / date her. At the time, Morgan was in the real estate field. She made pretty good money for someone her age. She also had her own place, her own car, and seemed to be doing pretty good in life around that time. And for whatever reason, she decided to give Jaquan a try. I don't know why good girls have an affinity for hood niggas, but that seemed to be the case here. And these situations never end well. After they dated for a period of time, Morgan became pregnant, obviously.
It's not fun, by the way. Here, so I was living in Georgia with her dad. We had like our own life, our own apartment, our own everything, obviously. When I got pregnant, I was like, okay, having kids gonna be hard because my parents live in Michigan. So he was like, okay, let's just move up to Michigan. You can have help with your parents, whatever, da-da-da-da. We mutually agreed to come to Michigan, right? So we moved to Michigan together. My job, I left my apartment, I left all my friends in Georgia. So anyways, we move up here. We just were not clicking. We were not getting along. He was being so mean to me, like seriously, just so mean. Like that's all that I can say. So finally, my birthday's on Valentine's Day, so 4 days before my birthday, he was like, yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. And I can't explain it. But anyways, long story short, he's like, I'm leaving. I'm like, okay, whatever, like go. He's like, tell me if you want to be in a relationship, because if not, like I'm leaving. And I was like, no, go, like whatever the fuck. I didn't really, a bitch did not think he was gonna leave, okay? In the morning, he packed everything up and he left. He literally just like kissed Gianna and was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this. He didn't take his clothes. He didn't take his shoes. He didn't take like anything. He didn't take his kid. He didn't take me. And he just like hopped down the road and drove back to Georgia. And then this was 4 days before my 23rd birthday. So I was 22. Finally, Valentine's Day rolls around, which is my birthday, 4 days after he ditched me. I found out he moved in with his ex. And they have a kid. Well, he has 6 kids.
According to Morgan, after she became pregnant is when she realized that this was not Jaquan's first child. Jaquan had not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not even 5, but 6 other baby mamas.
So this is where the story gets a little bit messy, y'all. So he doesn't have 1 baby mom. He doesn't have 2 baby moms. He doesn't have 3 baby moms. When Summer Walker made 4th baby mama, I was like, oh my God, she made a song about me. No, she didn't, because he doesn't have 5 baby moms. He has 6 baby moms that I know about, at least.
In light of this, Morgan decided to pick up her phone and share her experience on TikTok. Her story went viral, and this was the start of her TikTok fame. Morgan gained sympathy and followers due to her relatability and funny demeanor. And we all fell in love with Gigi. A lot of women could relate to her story. She continued to share updates on her and Gianna's life and her experience as a single mom, the whole time never revealing the identity of the random man from Atlanta. Eventually, a man came forward on TikTok and reported to be the random man from Atlanta, claiming he wanted to give his side of the story. I personally think that he wanted some of that TikTok fame and clout that Morgan was receiving, but that's just me.
When Morgan met me, I was not the guy that I became today. Yes, I struggled raising all my different kids because I never knew how to. That don't make me less of a man. What makes me a man is providing and trying and doing different ways to provide for them. Because I told Morgan that it would come to this, that, you know, you guys were gonna come my way to find out who I was. So yeah, you gonna say this, you gonna say that, but one thing I'm gonna stand on is I'm a man. And any person that has multiple baby moms, that's a male, they gonna feel me when I say this. You deal with a lot of friction with the baby moms, dealing with emotions. Y'all can call it postpartum, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. I wasn't happy.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
This is when the Morgan Bailey drama really began. They would seemingly go back and forth, subbing each other in videos, each person stating their side. Fans would state who they believed and why in the comments. Until eventually, they started making videos together.
I went to Walmart. I don't know anything about it. It was literally only $100, right?
Guys.
Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with allowing your daughter to see her father and trying to work out whatever relationship you have with him. But making him a part of her content is where most of her fans drew the line. Many creators and fans would tell Morgan that she should not include him in her content. But it seemed that she was now trying to brand her page as a family page, and a lot of her fans were not feeling that. You build your platform explaining how he abandoned you at your most vulnerable point in your life, and now y'all are going on family vacations and cooking family meals together. This did not sit right with a lot of her fans. And it was obvious to anyone who was paying attention that this dynamic was not going to end well. One of the first incidents after the attempted rebrand of Jaquan was Morgan reporting that he posted a sex video of the two of them. He posted this in an attempt to ruin her brand and mess with her money, in my opinion.
Child's father posted revenge of me last night, and honestly I don't think any of us are surprised, because this should be a major lesson for everybody on here. Whether you hate me or not, when somebody shows you who they are, literally just believe them.
Eventually the video was deleted, but the damage had already been done. The TikTok streets were ablaze, and the girls were highly pissed at what he had done to Morgan.
Living under a TikTok rock, if you didn't know that random man from Atlanta uploaded a piece of revenge corn to Morgan's live yesterday.
Now yesterday, it was all over TikTok that Jaquan released a video or a screenshot of Morgan giving fellatio. And she said that it was revenge corn and that she did not consent to being filmed during that intimate moment. Now,
I cannot believe this girl let this man play in her face. Why is all her business over on Twitter? This man is messing up your livelihood, your reputation, your bag, your sponsorships. Like, I know so many people tried to tell her. This crap is getting shared on all platforms.
Now, I hate to say I told you so. I really do. But misguided Morgan and the accidental XY chromosome from Georgia then got into it last night on live.
But the most recent and more violent incident between the two happened just a few weeks ago. Jaquan came to the internet, specifically to TikTok, which is the platform that she has the most following and the platform that she makes her money on, with his head leaking and reported that Morgan had assaulted him. He claimed to be the victim of DV at the hands of Morgan, and that he was sharing it to social media so that she could be held accountable. Yeah, right. Shortly after Jaquan posted his video, Morgan came out and stated that she was actually the victim of abuse and not Jaquan. In a 14-minute, very detailed video that she posted to TikTok, Morgan explained her experience with the abusive man from Atlanta.
Cool it would be for me to come on this app and act like a black man in America in 2024 has put his hands on me, if that's not the whole 100% honest to God truth. And honestly, his videos have finally pushed me and encouraged me to just say what's been happening and call it a day. I genuinely have had tears in my eyes all night long because I have to do this, but at the end of the day, Jaquan, we all know that I have been physically abused for months on end. Very smart, and you told me you would only punch me in the back of my head because people wouldn't be able to see the bruises on me then. I came on this app with pimple patches all over my face, trying to act like my acne was so bad from using a new product, when in all reality, we knew that you drew blood all over my face and all over my chin, especially last night.
Morgan spoke out about the abuse she had dealt with during her relationship with Jaquan. She described a pattern of manipulation, control, with emotional, physical, and financial abuse. She showed texts of him threatening her physically and demanding her to give him money. These texts imply that if she did not give him money, he would harm her reputation or even harm her physically.
Another one, I'm so tired of you. You're a dumb B word. You're gonna get beat to death playing with me. Says, send me the money. You fail to realize you'd rather get me food, shut the fuck up, or get your ass beat. Honestly, I have gotten so used to these messages that they weren't even triggering me or warning me to wake the fuck up and stand up.
She admitted to sending him money several times. Sometimes were to prevent him from leaving or to make him come back. Others were to stop him from retaliating against her for perceived wrongdoings. Now, for most people, it may be unusual to think that someone who is being abused would beg someone to come back, but this is actually very common in abusive and manipulative relationship dynamics. It takes an average abuse victim 7 attempts to fully leave an abusive relationship. I use Morgan's story to shed light on the complex reasons why someone might remain in an abusive relationship. Morgan's story highlights several key factors. First, there is something called the cycle of abuse. This cycle often includes periods of affection and remorse from the abuser, which can create hope and make it difficult for the victim to leave. For Morgan, Jaquan's initial charm and periodic moments of kindness may have contributed to this cycle. Additionally, societal stigma plays a huge role. As a young single mother, Morgan may have faced immense pressure to make her relationship work for the sake of her child, Gigi. The fear of judgment, isolation, and financial instability can also weigh heavily on someone in her position. Trauma bonding is another psychological factor that keeps individuals in abusive relationships. This occurs when victims form a powerful emotional attachment to their abuser despite the harm they're experiencing. The abuser's control over one's financial and emotional resources will further exacerbate their sense of dependence on the abuser. Many people wonder why victims usually don't simply call the police. The reality is that reporting abuse can be fraught with a lot of challenges. Fear of retaliation from the abuser is a major factor. Morgan may have wondered how Jaquan would react if she called the police. Abusers often use threats to maintain control, making the victim feel as though seeking help could worsen the situation. There is also the emotional toll of recounting abuse to authorities, especially if the victim feels that they won't be taken seriously or believed. For young mothers like Morgan, the fear of losing custody or being judged as unfit can also be another reason. As a social worker, I cannot stress enough the importance of discernment when entering a relationship. It is critical for women to evaluate a potential partner's history as well as their behavior. Men who have multiple children by different women or who lack a stable job or career, like Jaquan did when they first started to date, often raise significant red flags, y'all. These patterns can indicate a lack of stability, accountability, and the ability or desire to commit. Ignoring these red flags can lead to serious consequences. Morgan's story is a stark reminder that staying in a relationship after someone shows you toxic or harmful behaviors can come at a high cost. The first sign that something isn't right should be your cue to get the hell up out of there. Building discernment in dating isn't about being overly judgmental. It's about protecting your future self. Trust your instincts and remember that leaving a bad relationship early is far better than enduring years and years of harm and pain. Morgan's recent revelations about the abuse she endured has sparked widespread discussions online. Her courage in sharing her story has shed light on the systemic and personal challenges faced by DV survivors. Jaquan is definitely to blame here, but I would be lying if I didn't say that Morgan missed or outright ignored blinking red flags from this man. I hope that those who were able to witness her story play out realize that their discernment and their ability to spot red flags will be their biggest defense against potential partners that aim to use, abuse, and manipulate them. Her story is a reminder that these issues are far more common than we'd like to admit, and that we must always be vigilant of the games that people play in the dating world. Today, Morgan continues to use her platform to share her truth and her experience navigating life as a single mother. While the allegations against Jaquan remain a topic of discussion, Morgan's focus seems to be on healing and creating a better future for herself and her child. Regardless of how you feel about the situation, her story is a testament of the strength of survivors and a call to action for all of us to support those in need. Whether it's through listening, believing, or providing resources, we really can all make a difference if we try. How do you feel about Morgan's story? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Bye, y'all. If you or someone you know is experiencing abuse, resources are available. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-SAFE.